This question was also asked to me and the following lines were my answer to that. Sir, because of my eminent performances in the past, I am pretty sure and confident that I will definitely be. So hey guys, welcome back to your own channel with a very phenomenal and super comprehensive video on the third stage of your interview. That is your one-to-one personal questionnaire. So in the succeeding part of the video, we will be dealing with almost all the mandatory topics such as the most important points to keep in mind while giving your interview, the short questions asked in the interview, and finally how to fill your PIQ or personal information form most efficiently, effectively and the best. At every point and line of this video, there will be an important message. So please watch it very carefully till the end. So without any further delay, let's move on to the first chapter of our interview. Now here also I will be dealing with two cases. First, the most important points to keep in mind while preparing for the interview, and second, while appearing for the interview. So while preparing for the interview, you must furnish your brains with these following points. Please pay attention to both divisions very carefully. The first and the most important thing which you have to keep in your mind is to think as an interviewer. Always think of the questions which you would have asked someone if you interviewed him. Believe me, the way when you will begin to think like your interviewer, you will kill the interview and will make all others shocked. The next point, which is very linked to the first, is to convert your thoughts into words by writing all the questions which you or the interviewer can ask from yourself. Also take the help of your parents and try to write as many questions as you can. The point here is to leave no question which could be asked from you. While you write your questions, behind them also try to answer them in writing. For example, the first question that you wrote is, what is the meaning of my name? So behind it, write your answer and then read it. Repeat this procedure for all the questions and make a habit to read that paper which contains all your questions daily till your date of the interview. By following this way, you will gain more and more confidence every day. The point why I am telling this is only because that you know yourself better than anyone else in the world. So when you project your thoughts on a paper, you are actually gaining more and more knowledge about yourself. And that's what the interviewer requires from you, that how effectively you can express yourself in front of anyone. The third point, which most of us ignore, is to speak English. See guys, this is not the moment of being ashamed. Always remember, the more English you speak every day before the interview, the more fluently you will convey your thoughts on the final day. I'm again saying, not to be ashamed. Try to speak English in front of your parents and almost everyone so that they could judge you and rectify your faults. Believe me, start practicing English from today and see the massive change in you. So these were the three key points which you must follow now only. Now let's move on to the second division of the most important points to be followed while appearing in the interview. So if you have watched my previous two videos, you know all the information till the group discussion. So now when your divided group will come out after the GD, you all will again be seated on your previous locations. And then your divided groups will be handed to each of the three interviewing officers. Suppose your batch is divided into two groups, so each group will be sent to one interviewing officers. This is what generally happens, but there may occur chances when your interview might be conducted by all the three interviewing officers collectively. So when this happens, make sure you make eye contact with everyone over there in your personal interview. Returning back to the procedure, you all will be called one by one in front of the interviewing officer in increasing order of your chest numbers. So when your turn comes, make sure that you first wipe your sweaty palms if there arises such a situation. After that, first knock the door and then request your interviewer to come in. The moment you enter, wish him. There will be a chair in front of him. Make sure you stand behind that chair. This ensures that you are not desperate to sit on the chair. On the command of the officer, sit on the chair and say thank you. Make sure when you sit, your posture is erect and your palms are touching your knee joints. Congratulations! By doing this, you have cleared the level 1 and made an impression upon the officer that you have enough etiquettes. Now these are the following points to keep in mind while answering your interviewer. The first and the most important point, which can never be ignored, is to be truthful. Don't ever try to fool the interviewer. Always say the truth. The moment you will try to fool him, he will immediately catch that moment. If you don't know the answer, you have to say, "Sorry sir, currently I don't know the answer, but I will surely get over it as soon as possible." For example, if you haven't played any sport yet, just say him the truth. But make sure you always give a surety about your future that you will definitely improve. Like in this case, you can say, "Yes sir, I haven't played any sport, but due to my quick learning abilities, I assure you that in AFPI I will definitely master all the sports." Now please carefully analyze these lines. Note the importance of such effective words like quick learning abilities, assure, AFPI and master. Always keep in mind that you answer your interviewer's questions in such a way that every word of your answer has a very deep meaning. The second important point to note is to be as optimistic that you can even convert the negative words into the positive ones. Change your way of expressing your thoughts in words. Try to avoid saying no. Mold your answers in such a way that even the negative questions are answered positively, making your interviewer very impressed. For example, even in your interview instructions, there is written your least favorite subject. Now analyze this statement. Although this statement actually means the subject you dislike, but see the magical power of expressing thoughts. Least favorite and dislike are although similar in meaning, but the way of expressing it positively is greatly favored by the word least favorite. So the whole summary of this is to find positive words even in the negative ones, so that at your original personal interview, you will be garnished with the insane capabilities of tackling both positive as well as negative questions. The third point is to maintain a normal and steady pace. Don't get overexcited on the questions which you know. Mostly what most of us do is that we generally speak the answers which we know very quickly. And at the same time, when an unknown question is asked, we get stuck. So the point here is to be cool, calm, patient and talk to the interviewer in a manner as if he is a friend to you. And here, eye contact is very mandatory. So these were the 3 key points which you must follow while you are appearing for your personal interview. Now we will begin with the top most frequently asked questions in your personal interview. I guarantee you that out of this list, at least 2 questions will be definitely asked in your interview. Note the word at least. There can be 3, 4, 5 and so on. So before I begin, let me tell you that in AFPI interview, there will be no questions which will be asked from you regarding general affairs. So let's move on to the first question, that is to introduce yourself. Now here, if you have effectively memorized your self-introduction talk, you are done. All you have to do is to just narrate that talk, not fully but only in brief, like your age, name, family, hometown, etc. Next question is for those who do not have an army background. So here the interviewer might ask from you, since you do not have a family background in armed forces, so why did you choose this career option? So here the interviewer is actually asking you, why do you want to join armed forces? This question is also valid for the ones who have an army background. So in answering this question, you have to describe your exact purpose of joining armed forces. Be it the pride and glory, job security, olive green color of Indian Army, blue color of Indian Air Force, fighter jets, submarines or anything. The next question is, have you visited any army cantonment? So here, if you have really visited it, it's good. But if you haven't, be truthful and again as I told you, assure the interviewer that you will definitely visit it whenever you get a golden chance. The next question is, which wing of armed forces do you prefer the most and why? Now here, you have to specify your preference of wing, be it Army, Navy or Air Force, and state your exact reasons of pursuing such fields. See, I didn't give you the answers because I want that you all make your answers by your own so that you won't ever forget them ever in your lifetime. The next question is, why do you want to join AFPI? So you all must have written its answer on your personal information form also. So here you can answer, Sir, I love to imagine myself as an AFPN and I love people calling me as a cadet. Many of you asked my answer to that, so don't worry, in the further part of the video, you will be guided with that too. And now, here comes the last and almost sure shot question of every interviewer. What if you are not selected? First, I want you to pause the video and think your answer. Let me tell you that this question was also asked to me and the following lines were my answer to that. Sir, because of my eminent performances in the past, I am pretty sure and confident that I will definitely be selected. Did you like this answer? If yes, do let me know in the comment section of this video. And when I spoke these lines, in order to reciprocate me, he further asked, what if I do not select you? And then I said, Sir, I will then be focusing on my 10th class matriculations first and then will put all my mind and soul in my preparation for NDA. Although I feel that AFPI will prove to be the best of all. And that's it. My interview was over and I came out of the room fully elated. Now let's come on to the most productive method of filling your personal information form or PIQ, which means Personal Information Questionnaire. Always remember that the PIQ form is the heart of your interview. Almost all the questions asked to you will be asked from your own PIQ form itself. So when you have completed filling it, do have a look over it as many times as you can. Here you have to remember our second tip of writing as many questions as you can based on your PIQ form. So before I tell you the exact way of filling it, always remember this positive-negative rule. This is my self-made rule and this rule states that while you fill your PIQ form, mention only those positive things which AFPI demands from its aspirants. For example, in your strengths section, mention only those strengths which you think will attract the attention of your interviewer. For example, officer-like qualities. But mention only those strengths which you do personally have. Moreover, the rule also states that if by chance you are to include a negative thing, mention only that thing which even if you have will not hinder your selection in AFPI. For example, in the weaknesses section, you can write slow Punjabi handwriting. Now see, even if you have slow Punjabi writing, it doesn't at all matter to AFPI because Punjabi is not included in any of the NDA subjects. I hope that now you would have clearly understood the deep meaning of positive-negative rule. So now let's get over to our PIQ form. So here I would be demonstrating my own PIQ form in front of you all only to give you an overview. Please do not copy it blindly. Be unique. It might happen that I would be lacking those qualities which you would have in regional ratios. So always be particular about your information. And also remember that it's not only you who are watching it. First of all, I want to fill your PIQ form in block letters and with a blue or black pen as per your convenience. Leave the section where office use only is mentioned. So here, I would only be telling you about the unique places where you have to pay more attention. In the age section, I recommend you to write your exact age till your interview date in years, months and days format. In the relative and defense forces section, mention only the genuine person. Also remember that you must have a thorough knowledge of that person, his rank, his regiment and many more. In the educational record, you can fill in a similar way as I did. In the games and sports section, I recommend all of you to leave no space. I want you to search for the sports which you might have won or even participated. See, it's not about winning and losing, it's about how much you have played so far. So please don't leave any space in this portion as well as in the further upcoming parts. It hardly matters that you write gold medal or participation in the achievements. So here also, the interviewer can ask questions from you about your journey of the sport, your coach, your hard work, dedication, etc. So be prepared for them. In hobbies and interests, you can include swimming, cycling, cube solving, reading, etc. but according to your own interest. And here also, the interviewer can ask you about your hours of devotion towards your hobbies, why do you prefer that particular interest and many more. So you have to be prepared with all the questions which can be asked from you. And that can only be done when you yourself become an interviewer and write as many questions as you can ask from yourself. In extracurricular activities, you have to follow the same criteria as you did in games and sports section. Make sure you include the best awards first and then the successive ones. In position of responsibility, you can even mention class monitor or class leader. Now here comes the most important portion on which most of your questions will revolve. Your strengths and weaknesses. Remember the positive-negative rule. If you ask me, I wrote my strengths to be efficient organizing abilities, good communication skills, punctuality and sincerity. In weaknesses, I wrote slow Punjabi writing, less interest in dance, odd sleeping hours. Always mention those points for which the interviewer cannot contradict you. Now here also, you can analyze that all my strengths indicate the qualities of a true officer and even my weaknesses have no connection with my AFPA selection. So choose accordingly. I am again saying don't copy. Be unique and find the true you in yourself. Now coming on to the answer of what I wrote in why do you want to join AFPI is, I want to join the AFPI as it is the #1 NDA coaching institute in Punjab which has made the dreams of innumerable NDA aspirants come true. I am pretty sure and confident that under your vigilance and able guidance, I would be the most successful cadet who will hit the bullseye with the topmost rank in NDA in the country. Remember that your answer must have a current and a spark in your lines such that the other person experiences goosebumps from within himself. And here we end up with a full-fledged summary of our today's topic, the interview. Please share this video ahead because more the number of shares, more will be my motivation to make such videos for you all. I will meet you soon on a very new video on ICSE last 20 days strategy for board exams. Till then, stay happy, stay fit, all the very best 3rd, 4th and 5th course. Simply rock it till you make it. The interview is now under your control.